through the 5 host hotels in 1 minute and 40 seconds, so let's do it. First stop is the Sheraton, where you'll pick up your badges in the Palmetto Nights tournament, and the burlesque show will be held here throughout the weekend. Now we are headed to our second stop, the Hilton. For all the out-of-towners, there are tons of parking availability, and we aren't too far from the Joystick Game Room and the Bunny Hutch. Here we are at our second stop, the Hilton. And through the lobby is a massive dance party at any time of day or night, as well as different food options for those looking for a yummy treat or some caffeine. Now up these escalators, there's 2 ballrooms and multiple rooms for different panels throughout the weekend. Now we're heading to the Sky Bridge to the Marriott. It's a great way to avoid the heat during this very hot September. It's also meant for walking and unfortunately not meant for watching the parade. Now, this entrance we're going in is the location of the Hall of Fame, as well as many other panels throughout Con. Now, 1 floor up will be check-in as well as Starbucks. The 3rd floor holds the infamous TVA, as well as the Marriott Atrium Ballroom. Now we are heading to our second and last Sky Bridge that leads to our 3rd host hotel, the Hyatt. Throughout the weekend, the Hyatt will be hosting reading sessions, wrestling, and the Georgia Philharmonic Orchestra, and times will be made available on the Dragoncon app. Now we are heading to our 4th and final host hotel, the Westin. The street we are entering in right now is Peachtree Street, one of many. Down this road is America's Mart. Now, America's Mart holds the vendor hall and gaming rooms for Con throughout the weekend. The MARTA entrances and exits are on this street, as well as many great food options. Here we are at the Westin, which will hold many events, including the Puppet Slam on Sunday night. We are going to take you through the 5 host hotels in 1 minute and 40 seconds, so let's do it. First stop is the Sheraton, where you'll pick up your badges in the Palmetto Nights.
Hi everyone, welcome to Chat Talk. I'm Spencer,
Kyle?
and let's get into it. We got some interesting things today, but mainly, Kyle, what are we talking about today?
Dude, Dragoncon. Our entire guest, it's Dragoncon. It's just Dragoncon. That's it. That's what is on our brains and what we're up to.
Yep, DragonCon all the time. It's starting, well, for me, it's going to start the 31st because I'm going to be there doing work. But for everyone else, it starts September 1st to September 5th. So it's going to be amazing.
Kyle, I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a con, Kyle?
No, man. Like, I've actually never been to a con ever.
So you're saying Mr. Young Picard, all these other things like Saitama Ready, all these other things that you'd be perfect for. You've never actually been to a con or cosplayed?
No, man. I've never have, like, I've only done like a handful of LARPs and like the SCA. Pennsic takes place when what's the big one in Indianapolis called?
Probably Indianapolis Comic Con, like the
Yeah.
Indianapolis Comic Con. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really big. Gen Con is one.
Gen Con, yeah, that might be it too.
They take place during Pennsic, and so I've like spent so much of my youth like going to Pennsic every year. I just never tried it out. I don't know, man. Like, what should I expect when I get there? Also, for you guys watching, leave some comments and questions. Tell me what to expect.
Please. Well, first of all, expect the unexpected because you never know what will happen. This will be DragonCon 36. So I know fans, I mean, Black Don't Crack, it's hard. You don't know how old I am, but I'm just going to give it away. I'm 36 years old, even though I act like a 12-year-old. So DragonCon is as old as I am. And I'm kind of mad that my parents never took me to DragonCon #1. So I could have been to every DragonCon. So first one was DragonCon 35. And I really, Kyle, you're going to enjoy it. There's people from all walks of life. You got your Trekkies. We know you love that. You got your Star Wars nerds. You've got also your anime nerds. Exactly. You got your also playing role-playing games. So from all kind of role-playing systems, as far as D&D, Pathfinder, you name it, everything. We might actually have to go and do a one-shot somewhere and actually get some of that recorded for our fans. So you guys let me know if you want to see Kyle either potentially get wrecked or myself get wrecked in a one-shot of a D&D campaign.
Oh,
just say something below.
I would very much be incentivized to Leroy Jenkins in a one-shot. That's just inevitable.
I know you would. So really just sky's the limit. And of course, for our fans at home, we are actually going to have our first our Wandering Sword Dragoncon panel. So we're actually going to have our own panel called The World of Swords. And it's going to be a good time. Yeah.
So
So
what
yeah,
all does
there's a
the
lot of
panel
stuff.
entail, man? Like, what does that include?
Well, for everyone, you just to come to DragonCon so you can find out because I'm not telling you. No, I'm really making it up as we go along. No, there's never. That's not it. There's actually a script right here, which
Okay.
I'm not going to show to you. But mainly, we're really practicing our mission of the Wandering Sword Project. We're showing people that one, there are lots of different sword systems and also different organizations that talk about swords. So we're talking about the Hama, we're talking about the Hema, we're talking about lightsabers, we're talking about SCA, we're talking about armored combat, we're talking about the show forms. Just letting people know that, hey, because I mean, I know, and you guys know at home, but there's some people that don't know there's people that do stuff with swords. Some people are like, I never knew about this. And we're trying to, if anything goes in life, if eventually everyone in the world knows about sword stuff or also the Water and Sword Project, so share it to your friends, that would be our life goal. And someone's like,
Yeah.
yeah, I heard about
Yeah,
swords. I know it. I know it. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's
That's
simple.
really exciting, man. Like, the thing I love about this panel, I have no idea what the panel looks like yet because I've never been to one of these before. But when you're telling me like, hey, we're gonna get
Mhm.
this, and like, I just love that we get to share swords and sword sports with as many people as possible. Because people are always reaching out. They're like, hey, where'd you get that Hema sword? Where did you get your Battle of the Nations armor? And they ask us these questions, and we're like, there's like a million groups for you to get started with. And like, that's what we want. We want people to try out these millions of sword groups.
Yeah. Yeah. And our journey starts, like I said, my journey starts today. You were asking me before, you're like, so what's your plan for Dragon Con? And I'm like, first of all, I'm getting on this train because one of my cars still died. Haven't got that figured out yet. But hey, where there's a will, there's a way. And then so I'm at my good friend Imoken's house, Dawn for the SCA or Imoken for SCA, Dawn Real Life, who got me on the Hama track. And tomorrow I'm going to fly to Atlanta. And yeah, the rest is history.
Great, man. That's great.
Excellent.
So, what? There's also a steel group that's fighting. What's going on there?
So the Palmetto Knights are the ones that are throwing this together.
Okay. Okay.
The leader of that is Larry Langanese. He's one of the first HMB. Actually, back in the time, it was more just Battle of the Nations. Actually,
Mhm.
might have been ACL, but first Steel, where he was a coordinator, he's throwing it all together, and he actually helped us with the Wandering Sword Duelist Cup. He was the brains behind that as far as making everything work. I just got to stay there and actually talk and be photogenic, and so he's putting that on. And we were having multiple teams come. The Knights of Wakanda were the reigning champions last year. So we're going to try to defend that championship title. That's one's 5-5. And there's going to be some duels. And we get to be like WWE superstars. We're going to
That's
be
so
in their
great.
rooms of like, yeah, room of like around 800 people. And you hit somebody with a sword, then you can turn around and be like, are you entertained? And everyone's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Now chop
Which
his
is
head off.
exactly. So you're going to love it. Next year we're definitely gonna get you fighting in it, like the bucklers, everything. But this year you get to MC and you get to announce people, and it'll be fun.
Yep. I'm
But
looking forward to that.
speaking of
I
WWE
like.
superstar, oh, no, I'm glad you like it. So speaking of WWE superstar, weren't you getting something called Farm Wars with some people may know Eric the Viking from
Yeah.
War Raiders?
Eric Rowe from the War Raiders is a super cool dude. He is also like he's got his professional wrestling persona of like this Viking. They throw guys with shields. It's super awesome. Down with New Day. I'm on Team Viking. They do all this cool stuff, but then the guy is actually like legit loves historical sword fighting and historical reenactment. So he hosted this big dream event he's wanted to run for a lot of years. And so me and some friends, one friend flew out there, met up with other people, and we did like a full Viking reenactment thing. And this is one that we're going to talk more about at a future Chop Talk. It's got its own whole things, and we might be able to get some of those cool Viking guys to get on our show. We'll see.
I'm sure we will. Because we're doing the Jomsborg event, Ravensburg, that I had a chance to where I got to meet him was really
Mhm.
nice. And that's the first time I really did a lot of more immersion. And it was really fun to actually see everything was Viking or everything had to come in contact with Viking. I really
Yeah.
love that. Like, what was one of the biggest things that you loved about it, though? What was
Oh
different?
man, that's stuff that I want to talk about in the video we make
Okay.
about it. But to give you a heads up, I think you just hit the nail on the head. It was the immersion. Like everyone being
Okay.
one group or one people for the thing was it gave me those like LARP immersion vibes. That was really cool.
Yeah, I was more like historian, really, because I mean, not to use LARP as a bad
Yes,
word. I love LARPing, but it's more
I mean
like
the
you're like
vibe
I'm
of
actually
LARP,
there.
not yeah,
No,
exactly.
no,
Like
no. There's nothing
LARP,
wrong with it.
most LARP groups have that huge attention to like the atmosphere and like projecting that atmosphere that some other sword groups don't. You know, they're more focused on the sport of the game. This one focused on kind of both, but like it had that LARP vibe of like this is the environment, this is the idea, you know.
Like a
And
time
I
machine,
loved it.
just
It
send you back.
was.
I like it.
It was.
Well, so we got our Dragon Con. What do we got next?
So other than Dragon Con, we've got in Sword Nerd news, basically Dragon Con.
More Dragon Con.
But past
Yeah,
that, there was also a big HAMA event.
yeah, there was. It was Hammer the Gathering 3. So I was at the first
Okay.
one. Second one was virtual. Third one was in Philadelphia. Sadly, I couldn't make it this time. Had family stuff come up. It was just hard to make it, but it was awesome to see people doing it. The president himself, Damon Stiff, was there, my mentor. So that was really cool to see him. He actually has a really cool clip. You check out his IG where they're doing some African wrestling. And it was I forget the name of the gentle. It was awesome, but they're like, hey, it's good to see it. And then they start doing the Jenga step. And then Damon just picks him up and like gets behind him and just like and politely throws him down. Or as we'd say in the HEMA community and HAMA community, he threw him down with authority that was very gentle yet very authoritative. So yeah.
That's a good way to put it, man. Yeah, I was watching some of Damon's clips on Instagram. He always puts cool sword clips. And he had a gathering sword fight is the one that's up today. And I'm like, yes, this is cool. I'm digging it.
I love it. So it's just really good to see them doing good things. I think they're going to a format where they're going to do a small one remote, and then they're going to do another big one. So we'll see. We might have to do something in the future. We might have to do our own Wandering Sword Hammock of the Gathering. So like
That'd be awesome.
a middle. And like they said Hammock of the Gathering, so it's like Magic the Gathering. So let's like we just make it duels. We'll just call it Hammock duels. We just go Yu-Gi-Oh! Their Magic. We just always do Yu-Gi-Oh! Or maybe we do something Pokemon, gotta catch them all. I don't know, man. Just nerd brain thinking.
You're in the nerd zone today. You're
Yeah.
ready. You're ready, man.
Dragon Con.
For
Ready,
everything
man.
Dragon Con can throw at you, you're in the zone. I appreciate that.
I'm ready. Ready. Turn their hat around like Ash Ketchum, but I like it the other way, so I'm putting it back this way. Yeah. So more Dragon Con. We want to hit up to our side question already, or I know we're just moving right through.
We're
but,
there.
yeah.
That's the idea. We gotta make a fast show today and get on the road. So
Cool.
with our side quests, we've got the big thing that we've been hinting at for a long time, and I get to very proudly show you guys just like a little clip of this. Jason, can you put on our Udemy course little sneak peek?
We are the Wandering Sword Project. Welcome to our official Udemy course. I'm Spencer Waddell.
Yep. So
That's just a teaser. Why'd you do it? Why are you teasing people like this? Like
because I'm
it's
a
absolutely
jerk.
amazing. You are. So we got
This is the thing.
guys and gals.
We've been working
He's
on it
been
for so long.
So long, and this one spearhead like so. Our editor, this one's my little brother does editing sometimes too. Kyle Sampson, who's actually the friend. No, it was Davers that went with you.
Yeah,
right for the.
he's a good. Yeah, he doesn't do SCA. His brother does, and that's how we met. Is his brother does SCA with me, and then I'm like, well, you're a cool dude too, and so we've all just been friends.
In the Wandering Sword Project, we try to keep it within the family, but not in a weird way. Trying to just make sure others who are talented and have the opportunity to work on. A lot of them are editors. It seems like little brothers like to do editing. But he's been doing an amazing job along with Kyle. They've been literally spearheading this while I've been going around like beating up people in SCA, other things. They're like, hey, we need you to do this vocal thing, do that part, get that one done. I'm like, too bad, we're doing this part, like it's all finished. I'm like, yay, thank you. But it just looks amazing. He makes us two goofballs look amazing. I can't wait till you see a longer trailer we're gonna do, as well as the course that hopefully you partake in, because this will be, I think, the first actual African martial arts Udemy course ever. So
Yep.
in the entire world. So really, really want you guys to take care of it or take part in it and show us some love. And plus, you'll learn a lot from it.
Yeah, it's going to be good. There's 41 instructional videos in this series, all based on Hama, all lessons Spencer and I put together, and Spencer's like demonstrating everything. It's going to be a good one. And it's
Good.
useful for like all kinds of sword stuff too. Like a lot of our SCA spear experience kind of made its way in there, you know?
Oh, definitely. Which we are all kind of amalgamation of, Chinese spear, Japanese spear, our own SCA spear. It's a lot. And then we added a little bit more African flavor, but you see it.
Yep. It's good
I
though.
think
Well,
it's very good.
the plan, Spencer, is that it will be released in September. We are that close to releasing it, and we'll put it out. We'll chat about it. So if you're interested, just keep watching. Stay tuned. We're going to have all this stuff drop at you.
Yep, we're gonna have things, and we'll actually be debuting our bigger trailer at DragonCon. Because while we have people, and this may be our first and only time that we have a panel at DragonCon, which it won't be, hopefully not. But we're definitely gonna use this like, oh, by the way, we have this thing, so let's make sure to show you while we have captive audiences, because that's important. But I think people really appreciate it, along with the Hammer Association really helped us along with a lot of that too. So thanks to Damon, thanks to Osa, thanks to Mansa. It's just a really great project.
Yep. Very exciting, man. So Spencer, that's basically everything on our list here. That's all we wanted to talk about. I think it's ready to call this one chopped.
All right, let's do that. Thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate that. For those who didn't turn in while we're going on, please check it out later, as this will be recorded on there. Give it a like and subscribe. Check us out on our Instagram. Check us out on our individual Instagrams. Mine's simply_samurai. Kyle, KFP_quest. Kyle Potts, awesome swordman. And until next time, wander on and cut.
Check us out on Patreon. You can even sign up to get our Season 1 exclusive t-shirt. We are grateful for your contributions, and every bit helps us bring you more content. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff, but most importantly, wander on.